The Unfreedom event, research, and site visits has informed us about the complexity and fundamental problems within New London's social and economic infrastructure. Here's what we've learned over the past few months. This is Bryan and Gavin, and our project is titled Place to Call Home. Here is revenue flows in New London simply explained. Local New Londoners, because of their financial capacity, face a huge struggle to afford housing. These houses are sold at a steep market rate so that taxes can be collected to support the already depreciating economy of New London. The housing market serves a completely different user group, white collars outside of New London working for tax exempt corporations like Pfizer, General Dynamic, Electric Boat, and the list goes on. This leaves New Londoners no option but to opt for cheaper and often illegal units to live in, like motels, because there is a huge mismatch between their salary and rent prices. Some New Londoners may afford to have businesses, but are not exempted from paying property taxes, and tax funds like those are directed to Mayor Passero's agendas, like constructing recreation centers and 500 housing units for Trumbull. Essentially, resources are taken away from local New Londoners to serve a completely different user group, which results in a destructive open revenue loop. Our proposal suggests closing the revenue loop in the least destructive way possible. We are collaborating with Step Up New London and Tim Inc. to leverage their connection with New Londoners. Our augmentation machine, the campus, is a conglomerate of local businesses, and like any university campus, accommodates amenities for learning, playing, and upskilling, as well as community anchors. The campus streamlines supply demands for the future 500 housing units in Fort Trumbull through production and assembly of building materials. Given its advantageous geographical position, so near to the Cove and the Shoreline East Railway, it alleviates economic pressures on New London through means of exports. Investors and community land trust organizations are now confident to invest in acquiring blighted or existing community amenities. Stock from the fabrication shops and materials of the campus is then used to renovate and refurbish these acquired properties into starter homes with retail on the ground floor. Now local residents transit to starter homes, and once they gain financial competitiveness through opportunities made available on the campus, they can afford market rate housing in the coming next 5 to 10 years.
So here is how it's going to take place. Our project functions as an augmentation engine, transforming existing buildings through adaptive reuse to serve as catalyst for community-driven growth and innovation. In red, we have the required amenities like healthcare, education, pharmacy to silver services. And in pink, community anchors from Step Up New London, our collaborator, to makerspaces, mural studios, training centers to soup kitchens. And in black is a crop of abandoned, unrented, vacant, or underutilized buildings. Phase 1. The campus involves selecting a series of abandoned milling factories, formerly used for paper and timber products, fabricated metal and machinery, located south of Shells Cove on Hamilton Street. Adaptive reuse was the core of our design approach, but we had to be very selective with what we could keep. Buildings showing signs of deterioration had to be removed. The campus will serve a hub for opportunities ranging from precision milling, technical supervision to materials management, food services, and vocational education. With its strategic location near the railway, the Cove, and Howard Street, the campus is ideally positioned to receive material supplies, carry out manufacturing and fabrication, and transport finished goods for Trumbull housing development, as well as to broader markets across Connecticut. Currently, the campus focuses on producing exterior cladding, drywall, and insulation, but is well positioned to expand into additional product lines such as papercore materials and essential household items. This expanded scope would meet growing material demands for starter homes particularly, as an initiative enters its second phase of renovation.
In phase 2, we as architects will provide our expertise through recommendation to CLT organizations and property selection and acquisitions. This is the list selected. As proof of concept, we are comparing these two buildings adjacent to one another. 341 to 406 are mostly vacant retail, while Shaw's Landing is a relatively new apartment completed 2 decades ago. A 97,000 square feet vacant shop lot on Bank Street costs approximately $380,000, while a 1B unit right across Bank Street costs approximately $250,000. Purely from an economic price per square foot standpoint, it made more sense for us to work on these vacant buildings instead of building completely new ones. Our work begins with preserving the existing structure and facade, replacing broken windows, restoring shutters, and upgrading the building envelope to improve performance while honoring its character. To efficiently meet density requirements, units separated by drywall partitions along with double-loaded corridors can easily maximize unit counts. However, interior units sandwiched in between will be compromised with no access to daylight or natural ventilation. To address this, our campus fabricates modular orthogonal housing units designed to adapt to the irregular geometries of existing buildings. These fabricated units not only streamline construction, but also support more flexible layouts within such a constrained space. In New London County, 60% of households are made of one or two people, yet only 40% of homes offer two bedrooms or fewer. Our response is to meet the gap directly, offering a range of unit types tailored to current household demographics. Our work continues the excavation of floor slabs around the new units, allowing space for vertical circulation and pocket gardens. We are building up to 4 floors that meets the cap of local regulations, offering up to 213 housing units in this whole block of vacant retail. And with the number of vacant buildings we have identified that are feasible for adaptive reuse, we are targeting 750 plus housing units. The first floor will stay as retail, but we are puncturing the party walls to offer a more interconnected ground floor commerce and living room spaces to which the community has ownership of. In phase 3, we focus on augmenting vacant lots nestled in between existing amenities and key community anchors. We're introducing decentralized commons. These are multi-use spaces that share the campus's core mission to upskill residents, cultivate talent, and provide equitable access to opportunity. So what happens in the commons? Crucially, the commons also helps reframe the use of eminent domain. Too often, it displaces homes, thriving local businesses, and community anchors. In this plan, it is exercised solely in service of the public good, repurposing spaces to boost economic development and support the city's grassroots efforts. These commons serve as a neighborhood level augmentation zone. They are adaptive and community specific. For example, a deli might extend seatings in the commons. Workshops from vocational training centers can take place outdoors, and goods produced on campus, such as furniture, packaging, or panels, can be sold by local retailers. A childcare center could spill out into an open source learning and playing area. Each common becomes a responsive extension of the building and programs surrounding it, generating revenue, enhancing walkability, and anchoring neighborhood identity. And at the same time, the commons will house a core mission of a community scale recycling station. New London is responsible for disposing approximately 807,000 tons of paper annually, of which retail is responsible for 7,000, households 9,000, institutions like UConn 19.3 thousand, industrial zones 12.5 thousand. All of the waste can be sent back to our campus. These were transformed into valuable building materials like drywall, cardboard. To give you a perspective on the number of products we can produce out of these wastes, 1 ton of paper waste can produce approximately 40 insulation boards, 3,000 card boxes, 120 composite panels. These materials directly support the supply chain for Fort Trumble's development, while also contributing to local needs, producing paper rolls, cardboard tubes, and paperbacks that can be used in common-based businesses or the homes themselves. The following is a little comic book we drew imagining the daily lives within our pilot project.
It's a cold winter night in New London. New Londoners seek refuge either in motels or tents along the street or in houses along the Cove. Life in New London isn't easy. Motels are not the best place to get a child to sleep at night. Food isn't the best in trash bins, and the bills are not fun to pay. Some would suffer from crazy landlords or the cold chills. Others would think of ways just to save each and every penny from poverty. It's tough. It's tough for a mom with 3 children. It's tough for a man who has no shelter, and it's tough to worry about expenses every single day. Team Inc. and Step Up New London are working harder than ever, informing the community through campaigns, newsletters, soup kitchens, and initiatives to let New Londoners know that they are looked out for and about the promise of a home. Founded by Team Inc. and Step Up New London, the campus offers a space where New Londoners can gain new skills and be meaningfully incentivized. Access to childcare, healthcare, and education, long present for decades but out of reach for the community, is now aligned with the campus mission and made truly within reach. The campus offered a wide range of support and job opportunities, from builders to caretakers to education providers to launch caterers. It is a common ground for the community to interact, learn about rights and access New Londoners deserve, whether it's basic needs, ownership, or simply a space to feel heard and represented. Through shared experiences and collective action, as local business arrived, the town made a name for itself in export of materials. What had started as a small, tiny community now found itself at the center of a network of trade in Connecticut, thanks to its proximity to the Cove and to the railway. The dream of owning a home gradually came to fruition. Community land trust organizations are now confident in revitalizing what is now lost and neglected into space to call home. New Londoners had a voice in what they imagined of a home, not just the roof and four walls, but in the very essence of what a home represented. Wall panels assembled by the very hands of the people are transported from the campus and hoisted into the buildings. Every effort in local production became the heart of their home. And in that home, next to the warm fireplace, life flourished. It quickly became more than just a home. New Londoners found inspiration to create something of their own. Soon, the storefronts on the first floor transformed into bakeries, bicycle repair shops, textile and mural studios, soul food kitchens. Eventually, with newfound financial independence from jobs on campus and in the retail spaces, New Londoners started moving into market-rate homes that had once been too expensive or out of reach. Communities who left still have a shell in their retail spaces, opening doors for those who were once like them, less fortunate, but just as full of dreams. And slowly, newer communities began moving in.